I'm out backpacking this weekend, and part of what I'm doing is checking out this little guy up here, the Olight S1 Mini. I think it's awesome. I'm using it as a lantern in my tent right now, and you can see it's right on the low setting currently, and it's giving me plenty of light to be able to work and do whatever I need inside of the tent. That's the high. And there's the turbo. Almost like a dance party in here with it swinging like that. Really psyched on this thing. Super lightweight, works as a lantern, clips to my tent.
Hey guys, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Today we're going to do an early review on the new S1 Mini Baton from Olight. This is a tiny but super powerful little EDC flashlight that has other really good uses that I'll show you here in this quick review. This is a really cool light that Olight has put together that is more or less the little brother of the very popular S1R Baton. And if you're familiar with this light, you can already see how much smaller this S1 Mini is compared to the S1 or the S1R. So this does come with a single 650 milliamp CR123 battery that is a rechargeable battery. So if you look at the tail cap of the light, it does not have the popular Olight rechargeable tail cap. This has a rechargeable port on the battery itself. You've got a little micro USB port that allows you to charge this battery. And in my application where I'm using this as an outdoor light in a lot of cases, this is way more functional for me because I don't have to carry a recharging cable specific to my flashlight that is different from all of my other types of charging devices. Whereas with the S1R, I do have to carry that proprietary charging cable to be able to charge that light. So major bonus for the S1 Mini in that aspect. Let's talk about the things that I'm not super psyched on with this light, and the first is the clip. I am not a fan of this pocket clip by any means. It doesn't feel very strong in this orientation. I like to carry with the lens down in my pocket, and with how small the curve of this piece is on the clip, it does make it difficult to get it into your pants. Not something that needs to be too concerned about. I get a little worried about it being clipped in on this side with the lens up and the light facing upwards, that it's going to slip out of my pocket a little bit easier just because there's not as much retention there. But what I do like about the clip is the fact that I have the ability to orient this in different directions. The other downside for me on the pocket clip is the fact that it is fixed. I don't have the option to rotate it around how I want to have the clip in relation to the power button for the light like I can with the S1R. So that is going to be a downside for me. Otherwise, this light is beyond fantastic, and I am so psyched on the power. So this is a 600 lumen. This light does come in two different options. You've got this CRI 70, and then you've got the CRI 90, which is going to lower your lumen count to, I believe, 540, but it's going to give you that better color aspect that your eyes are used to seeing, and those types of lights are becoming more popular. But this is the 600 lumen CRI 70 version, and you can look at the bezel on there and see that it's just a flat face bezel, which I do like in this small of a light, and the lens allows for a really nice flood. So you don't have the option to adjust how the beam of the light is expressed out after you turn it on, but a nice good flood on this light. So let's go ahead and talk about the specs about it real quick. You've got a turbo mode, a high mode, a medium, low, and a moonlight. So your turbo is going to be 600. After a certain period of time, when it gets heated up too much, it is going to drop down to 330 lumens, which is your high mode, and then 60 lumens at medium, 15 lumens at low, and then 0.5 lumens on your moonlight. It's going to be different for the other version, the CRI 90. And so these are the lumen specs for this one, the CRI 70. Out on night 2 of the backpacking trip, so dark you can see the Milky Way. Obviously not in the camera here. This will give you a really good idea of how impressive this light is, so let's turn it on. So there's your low setting. To the naked eye, it's a really good, decent amount of light. What I like about the light is the kind of the flood that you have from the beam. Cycle through, there's your medium. That is your high. And again, you can see just the flood that is on that. And then we'll go to the turbo. Super impressive amount of light. It gives you a better idea of what the turbo is like. That tree there right in the middle of the frame is probably a good 80 or so feet from me. Probably 100 feet. This thing is really impressive. Back down to the low setting. Medium, high, turbo. 600 lumens. Just an amazing amount of light coming off of that. Really, really cool. I have this whole rock face that's probably 50 feet from me at this, and it just dropped down because the battery's dying. A couple other quick things to point out. This does have an IPX8 water resistant rating on it. The length of it is going to be just over 2 inches. So if we put this in comparison to a couple other lights here, just to give you a frame of reference, S1 Mini, S1R, this is the Phoenix E12, just a lower cost AA battery sized, and then this is a Phoenix. This is an 18650 sized flashlight. So you can see there size comparison and how those might fit into your pocket. If we go ahead and cycle through the different modes here real quick, if you triple click, that's going to turn on your strobe. If you double click, that will turn on your turbo. Again, that is 600 lumens and will drop down after a period of time to 330 lumens. This is going to have a total battery life of 1 hour on your high mode, or down to the low mode of 30 hours. So if I push and hold on the side, this is going to cycle through on your low, medium, high. There's your low, there's your medium, there's your high, there's your turbo. And then if I turn it off with a single click and then push and hold, that will turn on the moonlight at that 0.5 lumens. If I push and hold, after that it will cycle into the other modes, very similar to how the S1R functions. If with it turned off, I do have a lockout function. So if I push and hold, then I've got the ability, after that light turns on and then turns off, for it to now be in a lockout mode and it cannot be turned on. Which for a light of this size and not being able to adjust the pocket clip to make it so it won't turn on in your pocket, that's a really positive feature for me that I really, really like. Get it out of the lockout mode, push and hold, it will turn on into the moonlight. But basically, that is everything about the Olight S1 Mini. This thing is a really, really cool light for everyday carry. I take it backpacking with me. It's powerful. It's got a lot of good flood to it. It's just a really positive light that I've been really excited about. So those are my more or less initial impressions on this little tiny thing. Super happy with it. This is an early review, and I expect my opinions about it to stay the same over the long term. So there you go, guys. The S1 Mini Baton from Olight. Definitely check it out. I've got a link down in the description for you to be able to get more information on this. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I hope you have an awesome day.